All right. So we are here this morning with Devon and Leon, and these two guys are joining us from Co-Riverton, I guess that's the town in Guyana. But appreciate you guys jumping in on this call with us, and I'm excited to just introduce you to the people at our church. I wish that you could see them, and because that would be a lot of fun. But just happy to be able to visit with you a little bit this way. So let me just start out by maybe you guys could take 2 seconds to introduce yourselves, tell me just a little bit about who you are, and then about what you're doing down there in Guyana right now.
Okay. All right. Hi, once again. My name is Leon. Well, my correct name is Devon and but everybody in Guyana here, we have like a call name, but the folks at home
Okay,
call
I'm
me.
going to stop you there. How are you getting on sound there, Mark?
It's a little soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do I need to turn that up again, or do they? All right. So I want to welcome Devon and Leon here and joining us from Guyana. I had the privilege to meet these guys back several months ago and really liked them, but I wanted you to meet them as a church. We saw a little video from you guys earlier that I brought back on my phone, but there was so much traffic on the street, I basically listened to cars go by instead of listening to you guys talk. So but we did show it to the church a little bit. But if you guys would take a second here to introduce yourselves and just tell us a little bit about yourself, that would be a great start.
Okay, sure. So I'll go first. Well, hello everyone. My name is Leon, and I just want to say I'm thankful for this opportunity to come and share a little bit about Guyana. Um, I'm currently working right now at the Sugar Corporation in Guyana here, and I'm also active in church and myself and Devon, we're holding the fort for Pastor John, and so right now we are running the two churches, 73 Baptist Church and Mybe Curie as well. It's a challenging job with working and all, but I believe it's important. And as Christians, I think we all have a role to play. As believers, we have responsibility, and so the churches are going good here. It's challenging sometimes, but we're managing.
So good. Very cool. Devon, your turn, man.
A pleasant good morning to everyone here. We are very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to host us this morning. Well, my call name is Devon. My legal name is Andrew Anthony Mato. That's what I use in documents. I am 24 years old and I'm a teacher. And I've been working in 73 since I was 13 years old. So I had an early grasp in ministry. So I'm thankful for that. We have a little bit of a farm at home. So that's why you might hear a little bit of the birds.
So I got to visit the farm when I was down there, and the big thing is we had to go pick coconuts, and so that was fun. I never had like just raw coconut before, and Devon's dad, I think he insisted like I drink it all and like 5 more coconuts or whatever. It's like, here, have some of this, but it was fun, and I think you guys have like goats and chickens and some other things like that too, if I recall. Does that sound right? So anyhow, you guys tell us just a little bit about Guyana, because I had the privilege of visiting there back a few months ago. But tell us a little bit about your country that people here might not know.
Well, the word Guyana means land of many waters. So we have lots of waterfalls, lots of rivers. There's a lot of aquaculture going on. We also have some untouched rainforests as well. There's lots of flora, fauna, diversity. Our population is less than 1 million people, but we have a diversity of 6 races living in Guyana. We were once ruled by the British, and then we gained independence in 1966. So yeah, we have beautiful climate, and we have freedom of worship. There are 3 major religions in Guyana. We have Christianity, that's number 1, and then we have Hinduism, and we have Islam. So
cool. So tell us a little bit. I mean, Pastor John, I don't know how long's he been at there in Guyana?
Since 2017.
17?
Since 2017.
Okay, so 4 years, something like that.
Yes, roughly 4 years.
Yeah, so he's in Brazil right now on kind of a medical issue with his wife. So you guys have jumped in there to lead the church, which I think is awesome. Tell us a little bit about the churches that you guys are leading right now.
Well, okay. So our home church is like I mentioned firstly, it's called number 73 Baptist Church. It has been here for a very long time, I think since like around
since about 60 years now.
Yeah, over 60 years now.
Wow.
So it's a great church. You know, a lot of missionaries came through this church and visited Guyana, mostly from America. And so there's a lot of old folks there. You know, it has a lot of memories. The church here at 73, before Pastor John, we didn't have a pastor. And so when I started attending the church, I started like 2015. And so I started 2015 attending the church, and then I got baptized a year after. And then I was asked, you know, if I could participate in teaching Sunday school. And so I took up that challenge. So basically, before that, you know, we used to share the fourth, like leadership, myself, Brother Arjun. You know, Brother Arjun, you guys met Brother Arjun.
I met Arjun, yep.
Yes, and another guy by the name of Brother Sherlock. And so that's how the church was running until Pastor John came in 2017. And so so the church is going good. And then, you know, Pastor John had this with Sister Fabi, this medical issue, and so he went back to Brazil. And so right now we are taking the leadership role, and we are filling in for Pastor John, you know. And so the church here, it's challenging, but we're managing. And Maybe Curie, you guys went to Maybe Curie when you were here, right?
I did.
And so it's a far drive, like about an hour drive away from our home church here. It's like in a remote area where they do mostly farming. They mostly plant rice there. And so the church is predominantly ladies attending the church. You have like a few men and then small kids and so on. But it's a great church. A lot of receptive people in the neighborhood, you know, but it needs a little bit of evangelism, you know, to go around and do soul winning at times and so on. So things are going good so far with the two churches.
Well, good. So are you guys like both speaking on Sunday too?
Yes.
Okay. Did you like take turns? Is that how you do it?
Yes, we take turns.
Yes.
Okay. So now you're a teacher by trade. So
Yes.
Speaking's a little bit more natural to you, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. Or maybe, you know, some people are just born talkers. I don't know, Leon. So maybe that's the deal. So, but tell us a little bit about what that has been like, Devon.
Well, I started church at a really early age. My parents were leaders, so I started that church when I was like 0 years old, actually, which I was told. And I ended up growing up in 73 First Baptist, and then we had a lack of resource persons to teach because we had a lot of migration and stuff. And so when I was like around 13, I started teaching Sunday school because I always loved doing that. And so over the years, I've advanced in that. And now we're doing other ministries in terms of like a youth fellowship and preaching and so forth. Teaching is amazing and it's very rewarding, especially when you teach kids and you see there's a thirst for learning. And when you see kids learn and when you see people learn, when you teach the gospel and they want to know more about Jesus, I think that's very motivating for me. And I just know we're doing it for the glory of God. I just feel blessed to do that and to be able to, be a tool for him in the ministry.
That's cool. So how's that been for you, Leon? Because had you done some of this like teaching before, or is this new?
Well, it was a challenge when I first started because up to that time I've never done like public speaking before, really, or teaching. I work at the Guyana Sugar Corporation I mentioned earlier. So I work right now. I'm working as a chauffeur, a driver. So I've never really had the opportunity. So it was challenging at first when I started. Sometimes you get public speaking, you get the stage fright and so on. But I started in Sunday school and dealing with children. Children are more sometimes it's challenging, but sometimes as an adult, when you teach, it was not so challenging. But when I started preaching, it was a challenge. I remember the first time I was asked to preach. I was nervous, and but I went up there. I prayed about it, and I asked the Lord to help me, and so it was still challenging when I went up there. But eventually over time, I started to get a little better and a little more build more confidence speaking, and so now it's not so hard. So it was challenging at first, but by God's grace and His help, I can handle it now.
Good. So that's awesome though, to dive into something new like that and appreciate that. So what do you guys think has been like the biggest lesson that you've learned for filling in here for Pastor John so far?
Well, the biggest lesson is that being a pastor, it's not easy. It's a big job, and when you have God as your boss, and so it's challenging sometimes. Sometimes people think that it's not such a big job, it's not such a big responsibility. Or like some people would say, all the pastor have to do is just go up there Sunday and just say a couple of words and then collect the offering money.
Well, that's all that I do. So,
yes,
I cover everything else. So.
Yeah. Well,
okay. Well, but I've learned that it's challenging. It's it's a big responsibility. It's tough sometimes. Mostly like how we are working right now. We are doing a secular job and then participating in ministry and so on. So it's challenging. It's a big responsibility. But when you have the motivation, like for example, we have you guys to pray for us and support and also encourage us. That is very, very helpful at times. And so I've learned that it's a responsibility. It's a big responsibility.
Yeah. What are you learning, Devon?
Yeah.
Devon, sorry. I said that the American way.
Yeah, well, I learned that as well, we need to be more responsible and people really look up to us. So we have this responsibility to be leaders and, it kind of encourages us to up our game and to, be more dedicated, in the ministry. I've learned that, we have to be organized. We need to make this our priority. And I just learned that for everything, we need to ask God guidance first. And we work with His leading and His direction. For me, that's a great assurance to know that He's with us and guiding us, and we feel His presence with us throughout this whole ministry. At first, it was we had a lot of planning, deciding how we're going to handle two churches. Like we have jobs that require full attention. Then we have like, we don't have that much resource person to teach, and then preach, and then lead songs, and then hold the administrative body. And then we have to plan all events like Christmas gonna come up, Thanksgiving, VBS, Mother's Day, Father's Day, like all these stuff. It taught us to multitask.
Tell me about Thanksgiving. Do they celebrate Thanksgiving in Guyana?
Well, the churches, before we call it Thanksgiving, they call it harvest.
Okay.
Actually, when Pastor John came, we started calling it Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So it's just it's somewhere we just see like a date in November where we give God thanks for everything He's done.
Okay. I kind of assumed that was an American holiday. So maybe the missionaries imposed it on you guys. I don't know, but it's not a bad idea to be thankful, right? So we would encourage that for sure. We've been talking in our church about influence in the month of September. And I've been just curious, how do you feel like Pastor John prepared you guys for what you're doing right now? Because I mean, he's had a huge influence in your life, I think, right?
Yes, he's been a great influence in our life. Before he left, we used to do studies with him. He used to teach us theology, bibliology, so forth. We're very grateful for his time and investment in us with education. But this has been something as well we've been doing all our life. So
sure,
we're a little bit more norm to it.
Yeah. So are you going to let him come back? Or are you guys just taking over?
Yes. Yes.
We don't need you anymore, man. We got this. So
no, we need him.
Okay. So, hey, here's a question. I don't know if you guys have thought about, but if I could tell you anything about the church here, Waterford Community Church, we are a suburb of Detroit, which is kind of funny. Like the Detroit area, I think, is over 4 million people. We don't, we're not in the city itself. We're kind of out in the outskirts. But if you had a question about our church, what would it be?
What are your challenges?
What are our challenges? Our challenges right now, I think, one of them is COVID. And I think everybody has dealt with that. I know you guys have dealt with that too. And COVID really kind of messed us up because it shut us down, and even coming back, we're still not quite at full strength. So that's a big challenge, I think. I think another challenge, though, is just how do we reach our community? So it's easy to be about what's going on inside the church, but we also want to be about what's going on outside the church. And that's one of the things that we're focusing on, actually, why we're talking to you guys today. But how can we be engaged outside the walls of our church? And so we've been working on a bunch of different projects in that direction. But that's a challenge to us, I think, is the whole evangelism thing, which I know Leon mentioned earlier out there at Mabakuri, that evangelism is something that you guys need to work on. Have you guys been trying anything, or do you have ideas out there?
Yes, we do have some ideas, with the people here, mostly with evangelism. Guyana, like Devon mentioned earlier, there are 3 main religions here, which is Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism. But in our community, basically, most people are Hindus here, or they came from a Hindu family and so on. So that's one of the challenges. But our aim here is, we believe in door-to-door soul winning. And so we have a plan to when Pastor John was here, we used to go out every Saturday. We used to go out into different parts of the community. And so we do that. We still do that, and go and visit, and also go soul winning, sharing tracts and so on with people. But for the next church, at Mabakuri Baptist Church, it's a bit of a challenge there, because it's like a far distance to go and travel, because we try to go there every other Sunday and so on, but there's not a soul winning program there with the members there, but we're working on that. We want to create a program where we could go like once every month, and go around the community and visit people and share tracts and present the gospel to them. So that's one of our challenges, and that's one of our plans.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So good deal. Here's a weird question for you guys, and I tried to give it to you ahead of time, but we really think that in the body of Christ, we're all part of it, whether you're a hand or I'm a foot or whatever, but we all contribute to each other. But I think one of the challenges of the church, where it's the church in America or the church in Guyana, is how do we contribute to each other? Because there are some things that we can offer here in Waterford that might be helpful to you, but there are some things that you guys can offer down there at number 73 that might be helpful to us. You have any thoughts on that question? That's a hard one. All right, we stumped them. So, well, and obviously we could be praying for each other would be a big thing, right? And that's one of the reasons we've asked you guys to join us, is because we want our people to know who you are. Oops, we just got Mark. So say something, Devon, so we can get you back on screen. So like,
well, first of all, the fact that you've been checking up on us and encouraging us, that's been great for us. That's been very motivating for us as well. And first of all, I want to say thank you so much for the support you've been sending. The monthly support, that's been incredible as well. We have used that for so many things, for a gas to go here to Maybe Curie. We use it for the kids. We're going to use some for youth fellowship. And so that's been a blessing to us. So we're very thankful for that.
Yeah.
I'm just asking for.
Yeah. So here's the deal, though, is like, I think one of the things you guys contribute back here, whether you realize it or not, is you're two young guys who are saying, hey, you know what, we're willing to step in here and we're willing to lead. And just your example means something to us. And so, I met you guys down there and I was like, oh, these are sharp guys. And John's leaving, but they're going to be okay, because these guys will step in and step up and step out. And so, that's actually just your sharing this morning, I think, is encouraging to us as a church. And I wish you guys could see the church responding to that too, because it would be meaningful to you, I think. So, well, I don't want to keep you forever here. So just let me see. Do you guys have any questions to ask back to us? And if not, I'll kind of fire one final question at you. Just something maybe you're curious about at our church. Okay.
So your church program, you guys basically have service on Wednesday. What are your different activities that you have going on at Waterford Baptist Church, a community church? Sorry.
You were breaking up there, so let me repeat it back to you. What are some of the different programs that we are running? Is that the basic idea? Okay, yes. So we do Sunday morning is our main event. And during the Sunday morning service, we do a kids program. It's called Faith Mountain. I think it would be probably similar to what you were teaching when I was down there, Devon. And then on Wednesday, we do a bunch of family programs. There's a ladies' Bible study. And then there are kids programs for preschoolers, for elementary kids, for we call middle school. I don't know what you call it down there, and then high school students. So there's 4 different programs running. And then there's some Bible studies through the week, and we also do small groups. And so we have, I don't know, what, Mark, 8 or 10 small groups that meet. And
10, yep.
10 small groups that meet, and they usually meet in homes and for people. And then we also are working a lot on what I would call community projects. So we work with another church in the next town over, like on a food project. We work with an organization that reaches out to international students that have come to the university near us, or we're right by the all the automakers in the United States. So a lot of workers come to work in the auto industry, but we're working with them. So we're trying to do some of these programs where we're actually extending ourselves out into the community too. So those are just a few ideas that are going on there. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yeah, sure.
yeah. So okay, here's my last question for you. Okay. What is one thing that God's been teaching you in this season of life?
Sorry, what is the question?
What has God been teaching you?
Oh, well, a lot of things so far, but the lesson that I've learned so far as a Christian is, you know, we're living in a fallen world. You know, we're a lot of people need the gospel right now, especially in this country, in Guyana here. I mean, there are some people who probably heard of Jesus, and there are some people who have never heard of Jesus before, because I've spoken to people like that. Even at my workplace, there are people of different religion, and so God has taught me, and I said this when I got baptized, that my goal is to take the gospel and to teach other people and preach the gospel. And so I believe that is essential. That is the main priority in the Christian life. And for me, that's my main priority as a Christian. Sunday morning, preaching Sunday morning, teaching Sunday school, and so on. It's great to take up the leadership role, but my main priority is soul winning. And so I'm always motivated by that. And so I believe God has taught me that, we as Christians, it's the duty of every single believer, not just the pastor, or leaders, but every single, believers in the church. It's our responsibility to preach the gospel. And so that's a lesson that God has taught me.
Cool. What would you say, Devon?
Well, for me, every day every time I read my Bible, I feel God teaching me something from His Word. For me, that's very important. And I feel, He has been maturing us as, young leaders in the church. And I feel we've been working more into trying to find ways and trying to find creative activities to enhance our church. Trying to meet young people, like in the vacation Bible school that we had, trying to get people, spread the gospel around the community. That has been one thing we've been doing, and that's something we're passionate about as well. Yeah.
How did Bible school go? Did you have a bunch of kids come?
Yeah, it was a great success. We had a good amount of kids, and we had a good program for them. They had lots of fun. It felt very fulfilling to us, and it was a great time.
Good. You sent back a video that I get. What's that?
I said the kids got to hear the gospel as well.
Sure,
So
no, for sure. Yeah. It looked like to me in the video that you guys sent me that you got some like other people in the church to really jump in and take some key leadership roles too. That looked good.
Well, those persons they used to attend our church.
Okay.
They used to attend, but they migrated to another part in Guyana. So when we decided on doing this, we had a Zoom meeting, and so we requested help.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
Some of them came back to assist us in this. So that was great to fellowship with them as well.
Yeah. Mark, you got any questions for them? Because you haven't met these guys and you're sitting listening in. I don't know if you got anything.
Well, hey, I'm just excited to get a chance to meet you and hear about your ministry and how God's growing you and how He's in one way prepared you for this time, and that's pretty exciting. Hey, I just got a curiosity question though. So, what you preaching on right now?
Well, the last Sunday I preached on service for God, and I encouraged the church to help with the service of God. because generally we generally take care of most stuff in terms of like preaching, teaching, Bible study, mowing the lawns, and all this stuff. So we talked about service and the importance of that. And on Wednesday night, I shared about doing our best for God, and because He did His best for us. And this Sunday, I'll be preaching on trusting God, importance of trusting God.
Great.
Cool. So Mark, you have to show them your shirt there. I'm just realizing this. Okay. So this is kind of a map of Michigan, and we live in Michigan. Mark, can you show us where we live in Michigan there?
Right about
No, yeah, up. Yeah, somewhere over in there. The joke in Michigan, though, for you guys is it looks like a hand. So everybody is always like, okay, this is where I live in Michigan, and they always point to different places on their hand to demonstrate where they live in Michigan. So I appreciate Mark wearing that shirt. It's got some weird thing going over there on the one side, like the
roots,
the
man, roots.
Yeah.
I'm
I guess
rooted.
that's because he's Michigan born and bred, I guess, is the idea there. So, well, hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate your joining us here for this conversation this morning, and I appreciate what you're doing there in Guyana as well. I'm going to click off this recording real quick.
Yeah. One more thing. Just a shout out to Isaac
Hang
and
on
Jenny.
1 second. Hang on 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just a shout out to Isaac and Jenny. They've been reaching us through email. We have to send back some information yet, but we're very thankful for their encouragement and reaching out to us as well.
And I don't know if you got the big news, but Isaac and Jenny had a baby this week.
Yeah.
So, and what's the
Congratulations.
name?
Bennett.
What is it?
Bennett Ronald.
Bennett Ronald?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Is it Bennett or Beckett?
I better check here a second.
All right. So, because I heard one and Mark's saying another.
I think I got it wrong now that you said it. And Beckett, I'm sorry, Beckett. Sorry, Isaac.
So Beckett Ronald Ost, and so we're excited for them too. This is their first one, and but I appreciate their reaching out as well. So hey, thanks guys. So glad to visit with you here. I'm going to click this off. So